Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and we are here to discuss full spoilers Falcon and Winter Soldier, Episode 1, starring Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan. I thought it was a great intro episode. It had a lot of setup, but joining me as always is going to be my best friend, Michael Cologne. Hey, Mike, otherwise
Hey,
known as Convex Mike.
hey, how's it going?
All right. So, before we get into this, this is just so this episode where it picks up is 6 months after Endgame. So I thought that was kind of cool. You see what's happened to the team, all these people that were together, and now you have Anthony Mackie's character back with the Air Force. You have Bucky trying to not so much escape his past, but he's wallowing in it. He's letting it
Pretty
affect
much.
everything. Right. How's it going, Rudy? How's it going, Jason? And So at the beginning, like I said, 6 months after Endgame, you're seeing what's happening to these heroes that saved the world. Everything Nerd Reviews, how you doing? And they're going through some stuff. Anthony Mackie's character Sam Wilson had to go back to the Air Force. He needs to support himself. He needs income. Bucky's a complete mental mess. Still having nightmares about when he was a Winter Soldier, killing innocent people to keep his secret. But let's first talk about that 10-minute opening scene. You had Sam Wilson, Funko Hunter UK, how you doing? You had Sam Wilson chasing down Batrock the Leaper in an airplane trying to save someone. And I know that was straight meant for the big screen. That was a phenomenal opening scene. 10 minutes of some of the best aerial flight scenes I've ever seen in anything, whether it's movies or TV. What did you think of it?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought like it looked incredible, even though it was CG. You can't even tell. It was really good.
Right. It's flawless.
Yes, it was really good.
Hey,
Um,
Jurassic. And I thought the weaving in and out of the planes, all the aerial stunts were absolutely incredible. The way he used Red Wing
yes, it,
was
it,
great.
it
Oh,
was it was all incredible. I mean, the whole scene was set up flawlessly, and it was a very exciting intro to what seems is going to be a good like series going forward.
comics, Comic Hunter. I'm sorry, Comics on My Mind says, yeah, I agree. Great scene. Welcome in. Thank you guys for joining us today. And what I like too is that set Sam up firmly. He's in the Air Force. He's going on these ops. This is his life now. This is how he supports himself. This is where his paycheck comes from. Being an Avenger didn't pay him. This dude's got to put food on the table. He's got to dress himself. And then it goes right into a scene where we're in his apartment. And it's kind of disheveled, kind of a mess, kind of like Sam is. He still hasn't moved on from Steve disappearing. And you see him ironing a suit and just getting ready. You don't know what it's for. And then you see he's heading to a ceremony where he's going to give back the shield of Captain America to the U.S. government. Because even though Steve gave it to him, he's wrestling with feeling worthy of it. And I don't know, did you get that same sense?
Oh yeah, just the whole first, like the whole episode was him, like like he doesn't feel like he's worthy to become like the next Captain America or pretty much the next face of America.
Right. He thinks that
So
mantle's untouchable.
yeah, pretty much like nobody can ever live up to Steve Rogers, Captain America. So it was good to see like him battling like with whether he should accept it or not, and just seeing how he just doesn't feel like he can live up to Steve's name.
Right. Even though Steve passed it to him, he still can't accept it. It's
Yeah.
and acting's great. And even and during that speech, they even had the one funny thing when he said, "No one posed stoically as good as Steve did," which was a great little line. But besides the little comedy line, that whole speech was amazing, and it really set up the legacy of Captain America, Steve Rogers, and the effect that he's having on this show, even though his character is not present.
Yes.
Because this whole first episode seems like it's reactionary to the passing of the mantle, and with the fallout of him being gone, which brings us to Bucky. And the first thing you're introduced when you see Bucky, it's in a flashback that you don't know is a flashback right away until it ends and he wakes up. And that flashback was just showing him at his brutal best when he was under the mind control. He was just an efficient, nonstop killer.
Yeah. Pretty much the perfect assassin. Pretty much.
And that scene in that hotel was amazing.
Yep.
From the different levels they went into the
I
poor
just
guy
like
that
how that scene set up the whole episode on his part. Like
right.
that, without that scene, I don't think the emotion level would have been there later on in that episode. Like that scene was perfect for Bucky to
And that is a
show.
great point
Yeah,
because that scene played right into him and his psychiatrist and how he just wasn't able to let her know that he was still having nightmares.
yeah,
And I thought the psychiatrist scene was a great scene. One, because the psychiatrist was I'm going to call you on your bullshit right now.
pretty
I've
much.
been in war. I've killed people. I've had to live through it myself. You're not going to lie to me. I know what's going on with you. You're either going to be able to admit it or you're not. But we're not moving forward until you can do something.
But in his mind, how can he move forward though? He's basically over 100 years old,
Yeah, or
and he's
106 or something like
yeah.
that, right?
I mean, even though the psychiatrist can say that she's she's been through that, he's been through it a lot longer on mind control, and
Well, she was never mind controlled, so he's got that over her.
yeah, so pretty much he has to live with the guilt of everything he did, and how does one accept that?
And that's playing right into his role as like when you're introduced, he's still punishing himself. He hasn't learned how to not. He hasn't been able to rectify his past or make amends with it in any way. And that comes into play later in the episode after you see he has this best friend named Yuri, which is an old guy who he identifies with because at his in his soul he's an old guy too. So
Pretty
he's
much.
hanging out with this old guy Yuri, and you find out as the episode unfolds that Yuri is the father of the boy he killed when he was under the mind control in the Winter Soldier. And he's just he's there not only punishing himself, he's trying to give comfort to Yuri, and he's also trying to get up enough bravery to let Yuri know what really happened to his son. And it's just a terrible thing because it wasn't really him that killed him, but it was
Yeah,
him that
but
killed him.
it pretty much
And
was him.
yeah, and Yuri's just lost because he just wants an answer as to why his son had to die. And the
you
government
know
just said wrong place, wrong time. That's the only answer they gave him. And even in that conversation, there was a lot of cool stuff to show you the age of the Winter Soldier, like Pinochle and stuff like that. So the the writing's great there. And then it goes right from that is before we got to Bucky, we had that scene with Sam Wilson and Agent Torres where he was fixing Night Red Wing. And I think Agent Torres, they're setting up to be a bigger part of the show. It looks like, and you saw that where Agent Torres was following the Flag Smashers, and Sam was still past what he had just did with Batrock, and he was going home to Louisiana to see his sister Sarah and his nephews. And you're really feeling the crunch of these people have real lives, right?
yeah,
He's not rich. His sister's certainly not rich. Their parents owned a shrimp boat where they were shrimping and they sell it. The boat's old. His sister's looking to sell it. Sam was gone for 5 years. All this is after the blip. Half the world's moved on. Half the world is just coming back 6 months later. And you're seeing the financial struggles of this family who are all hard workers and just trying to make the best out of the situation. And you see him and his sister doing a lot of brotherly, sisterly bickering, which I really like. That's how family is, right? You bicker
that's
back
how
and forth.
siblings are.
But those were really good character building scenes for Sam, I thought, with him and his sister. She looks to him as the big brother, the hero, but even being the big brother and the hero, you can't solve all problems.
Nope, definitely can't. I like that. I like the fact that he was clinging to the past. Like it was him. To me, it felt like he didn't want to let go. Like it was the only thing that he had. And by if she sold the boat, it'll be another part of his life that's gone.
Right.
So he needed something to hold on to. So I mean I understood like her wanting to do it, and I understood why he wanted to do it.
Right, well, and that's the great thing about the writing. Neither answer of what either one of them wanted is wrong.
Yeah, I
It's
mean
just two
pretty.
perspectives from people in two different places in their lives, and both perspectives are right on. You know, she's got two kids to support. She's a widower. Her husband's gone, and it's just her and her kids, and she's got to feed them. She's got to pay the bills. She's got to keep the house going. And that's not solely Sam's responsibility, although he takes it on. And I think that's a lot of what this first episode dealt with is letting go of the past to move forward. And it
It's
seemed
always
like that was like the
yeah,
big theme of it. And then we get to that scene with the flag smashers, and Agent Taurus is undercover there. And you see the big guy flag smasher himself show up and his unit, the flag smashers, and they all seem kind of enhanced in some way. They've got power just oozing out of them. They're creating a riot. And then it says "run" on their phone, but it was whatever language is in. You Google it and it translates into "run." And they take off. They created the havoc. And Agent Taurus, I thought was almost going to be dead there, but they were
yeah.
able
I thought
to.
he died. I
Right.
mean, any normal person would have.
And that's where you're going to see Sam Wilson as the Falcon come back into it because he got that call and the guy's all beat up. His face is swelled up. And then you go back to Bucky, and he's trying to go on his first date, and you don't know how many years. And that woman was sweet. She was nice. She was giving him time, and you could just see German. Thank you, one shot. And then you could just see in his face he wasn't able to move on. He was struggling with guilt the whole time he was talking to her, and he just ends up he has to walk out because the conversation turned to Yuri. As soon as it turned to Yuri, you saw the guilt hit him again over killing the guy's son.
Yeah,
And
that
even though he
revelation when she
visited his
told him, yeah.
apartment, he couldn't tell him. He still couldn't get past it.
I mean, how do you get past something like that?
You
How do
don't.
you? Yeah, I mean,
And the actor playing Yuri was amazing. Like you felt for that man. You felt his loss for his kid. And then when he opens the door and you see the shrine to his kid, and as a parent, man, that just connects to you right away. Like
yeah. As a parent, you never want your child to go before you.
right. And when you see Yuri open the door and the first thing you see is the shrine,
In
it
the
just
picture,
it hits you right away.
yeah,
And that actor is so good as Yuri.
it was a great
And
emotional scene.
right, and then we're kind of winding it up. We're back with let's go back to Sam again.
Yes,
And Sam is still in a mindset that he's an Avenger. He's the Falcon. He can get stuff done when he does it. And it shows that he can't when he goes to the bank with his sister to get a loan to try to save their parents' boat and house. And
he
then you
basically
see,
can't be that hero.
right, yeah, Sam can't always be the hero, and that's a struggle. And that's a struggle with Sam. Hey, Freaky Louie. Hey, Travis. Troy. After watching Snyder Cup. It was, but I agree, Louis, but this is a TV show versus a 4-hour movie epic, so they kind of don't relate at all. You would hope that a TV show would be a letdown after a 4-hour epic. Um,
Well, that's why TV shows have many episodes.
right. But so
We'll
we're
get to the
talking
Snyder
about
cut in a couple days.
we're talking about at the bank too, and it was just that was just heartbreaking too. You could feel Sam. He can't solve the problem. He can't be the hero, especially to his own family, and that's just bugging him. And then you had that guy at the bank asking him for poses, being a
I
complete
know.
moron and insensitive to his family's plight. If you can't give him the loan, that's one thing. And I thought that was also another clever bit of writing is how the snap affected how policies are done now and what banks and stuff can do because that would
Remember,
affect everything.
they like of everybody who was gone, like you're talking about like millions upon millions of dollars that they have to cover. So policies have to change. People are gone. Like, what do they do? So it just made you realize how powerful that snap was and how it affected so much in the world.
And also tells you how good the storytelling is at Marvel right now. That they're thinking of all these little aspects that would affect different people's lives. It just because it would be easy to have the snap in a big movie, then never reference it again and write TV shows like it never happened. But they
Yeah,
don't.
pretty much.
They keep their continuity and everything tied together really well. And just thought that was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
That just the everything that the writers think of to include, and the continuity just flows because of it. Um, what did you think of the big reveal at the end when you see John Walker come out, and now he's John Walker is the new Captain America, and you can
Well,
see the betrayal on Sam's
I,
face that the
yeah, Sam's
government
face.
betrayed him. He trusted him with this symbol that Captain America gave him. He
Um,
thought he did the right thing, and then they just go and give it to some schmuck off the street.
well, remember, I'm the one that doesn't know the comics. I don't follow any of that. To me, when I saw it, I understood why it happened. I understood why he felt betrayed, but I understand why the government did it. You need a new face, and Sam didn't accept it. He fought with the guilt.
He
I
didn't,
mean,
but the government should have been upfront with him and told
yes,
Sam what was happening.
yes, but I mean, it is the
That's
government, and I
right.
understand, but that just goes to show you that they have that mentality, next man up. And I mean, I understand why he felt betrayed, but I mean, I want to see actually where they go with this new Captain America. Is it going to set up and that he's going to be important, or is it just for they can just have a face for now?
Right. Well, and in the comics, which I know you're not familiar with, is John Walker was Captain America for a while. Then he became U.S. agent,
All right.
and so this show, in my opinion, is setting up for Falcon to become Captain America at some point. And I don't think John Walker isn't going to be a villain type. I think there's going to be a reckoning between him, Bucky, and Sam. You might see them even working together because we still haven't been introduced to the big bad this season. Right now, we saw Batroc the Leaper in the beginning. Right now, the Flag Smashers are going, but Baron Zemo is on tap to be in this season, and we last saw him in Civil War. So we got Baron Zemo coming back. We still haven't seen Agent Sharon Carter, who's Agent 13. So we got a lot of setup that happened in this, but a lot of strings that are still left dangling that haven't come to fruition yet. So I think this episode did a lot of great setup. That 10-minute aerial scene, absolutely amazing. And then what you got for the rest of the show was two character studies. So moving forward, you know exactly what place these guys are in, and it's going to make that journey really worth it.
Yes.
Because they can't. You have to know what their mental state is to make the journey worth it. To go from point A to point B, and they did a great job setting up point A in this episode. And I think by the time we get to point B at the conclusion, it's going to be a great journey.
Yes, I'm really excited to see like where they take Bucky's character. Um, I like Falcon. I already know how like I'm gonna like his arc, but I want to see where they take Bucky's character.
Well, I'm ready for them to get together because I
Yes,
think much like I liked I think Wanda and Vision, those two actors, Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen, have great chemistry. I think Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan have that same kind of chemistry. When they're on screen together, they're like the best buddy cop film you ever saw. Right?
yes,
They're
I,
just
I
great.
agree.
They're
They
back
they
and
were great
forth,
in
and it's
Civil War
just
together.
right. But yeah, when they're together, it's hilarious and it's great and it works. And I think Agent 13 is going to add greatly to that. And I'm really curious how they're going to do with John Walker, because they made him look kind of like a dweeb when he came out in
Yeah,
that
he
Captain
looked.
America comic.
That's why I felt like they just like he just felt like a product placement. Like let's just put the face right now, and
Right.
we're gonna
Government
see what
branding.
happens in the future. Yeah, pretty much.
And so Troy, hey Shop. So Troy is saying that he thinks John Walker will end up being Nomad or U.S. agent. I think he'll be U.S. agent. I think Nomad is going to be Bucky, because in the comics, Bucky Barnes became Nomad, and I think that's where they're headed with him. You're gonna. I think my personal opinion, which is probably going to be completely bad and off, because Marvel is great at setting you up to think one thing and giving you something else. But I think and I think Anthony Mackie's Falcon is going to become Captain America. Just like he was in the comics, he has a captain suit, but he has the wings and the shield still. And I love the wings the way he was using them in the fight. I think Bucky's going to end up being Nomad, and I think John Walker will end up being U.S. Agent. And I think you're going to see more movies come out of this series. I think they had already said that like this series is going to tie into 3 different movies. So we'll see how that comes, because we know you might see a U.S. Agent movie instead of a Captain America movie now, or you might see
Hmm.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier Captain America movie. You don't know. There's so many endless possibilities. But when I
Marvel has the
first
Disney
watched this,
budget.
yeah, when I first watched this, I loved the opening, and then I thought the rest is kind of a letdown. But I just watched 4 hours of the Justice League too. I mean, of the Justice League. So I was coming off that big movie high to a more condensed storytelling show. And then when I rewatched it again, I was like, no, this is really good. I just needed that. I just needed to get my mind space right. And I thought the episode was amazing,
Yeah,
especially on the second watch. And you just see the way they delved into each character was really phenomenal. Right. So Chip is saying, I believe the series and WandaVision are the beginning of
storylines.
future movies and storylines. Oh, definitely, Chip. All this is leading into something bigger. And this is the perfect during COVID times way to set up future movies.
Pretty much.
Yeah, everyone's at home and you're got this great, because the production value on these is movie production value. You're not getting anything cheap.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm gonna give the first episode a solid A. It's not gonna get an A plus. It's gonna get an A. I think they really hooked you in with that opening scene, but then it made you expect a little more action throughout that episode. Then the rest of the episode was character studies, which was great, but it made you come down off an adrenaline high watching that first 10 minutes, and then the rest of it was kind of delving into the psyche of these 2 characters.
Yeah. I I give it a good B plus. It was actually it was better than what I thought it was gonna be. Like I said, I love Bucky's arc. I thought the writing for his character was great. The Falcon, he had that great, amazing opening scene. Um,
I really liked the interaction with him and his sister a lot. I thought
yeah,
all those things with him and his sister were fantastic.
yeah, I agree.
But yeah, and just and I like that they got to bring these 2 together. But I like the dichotomy of Falcon's suffering with the loss of Cap, but his pain is also around his family and trying to help them. Bucky's pain is completely introspective and solo. So you got 2 different kinds of pain setting up through the inner pain and struggle that he's going through, that Bucky's going through by himself, and the pain that Falcon's going through with his family. Because if they both had the same struggle, it'd be kind of boring. And their struggles
It'll
couldn't
be
be more
weird.
different and also alike at the same time. But all right, that's I think yeah, well, let me see. Chip, that is true, and I agree. A good A, B minus in the episode. Next kicks and comics, right? Hashtag grow together, buddy. We're starting it up. And I mean that's all the thoughts I had on that episode, man. A really solid first start.
Yeah,
And there was definitely a lot to pick apart in it, and I think there's a lot more to come. I can't wait to see how Agent Carter is introduced. I can't wait to see Baron Zemo come in with his actual mask that he has, and I don't know. There's a lot
yeah.
of good setup, so I'm really looking
Okay.
forward to next Friday.
You know I'm gonna be asking you a million questions about like everything that goes on.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, that's part of why this is great doing it with you, because we get the perspective of the guy who doesn't follow the comics, like how it works for you as someone who doesn't know all the material.
Yeah,
And and that speaks to the storytelling that they're doing. That we had a lot of the same opinions on it.
Yeah.
So Nick's Kicks and Comics says, I think these shows are great. They're elevating what will be major characters with actors who may not be able to carry a motion picture. And I agree, Nick. It's great chemistry between Sebastian Stan and Mackie. And that's why I'm waiting for them to come together, because this first episode was great with them apart. You had to get them where they were at the end of this episode. Next episode's got to bring them together. And once they bring them together, I think you're just going to see the show go from its B level to the A+ level. It's just going
Yeah.
to shoot up.
I want to see where they take this. I want to see like how far they take their chemistry.
Oh, it's gonna be, and and that was one of the best things that came out of Civil War is those two together. Every time they were on screen together, it was absolutely fantastic.
Yes, it was.
And also, I forgot to even mention, it was great seeing Don Cheadle in this.
Oh yeah, that
Having
actually
Don
shocked me.
Cheadle there as Rhodey to support the Sam character was fantastic. Sam Wilson.
I wonder if they're
And
going to bring in any other characters.
right, and he's such a mature hero symbol for the Sam character to look up to.
Yes.
And all right, that little girl kicked your ass. What's he referring to? Was that in the show? Oh, Nick, I'm lost for. Oh, wait. Yes, I think he's referring to Civil War. But it was a while back. But yeah, great first episode. Really loved it, and we'll see what happens next week. You got anything to say in closing, Mike? We won't keep everyone too long. We've been going almost half an hour.
No, just I'm excited for the next episode, and we'll see where it takes it.
All right, and then next Sunday, Mike and I will be back to break down episode 2, give our opinions.
Yeah.
The comic nerd and the average guy that doesn't know the comics.
Exactly. Until we talk about the Snyder Cut.
Yes. Well, I'm ready to talk about the Snyder Cut whenever you are. We just gotta tie down a day that we can actually
I know.
do it together. And to do that, we might have to bring my buddy Jason in with us.
I think that's when you're gonna see me get a little giddy about talking about that.
It was good. And I gotta say,
I've been waiting I was waiting forever for that.
And it did not feel like 4 hours at all.
Definitely not.
But we won't go into that now. We're going to set up a time to talk to it. We might have to include my buddy Jason in on this, and the three of us can talk about it. Jason's already watched it 4 times like you have.
6 already, but
6? Oh, you've already got 2 more times on your belt. You're going to watch that as much as I watched John Carpenter's The Thing.
I don't think I could ever watch it that much.
Right. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up, but that's it for now. Mike, thank you for coming on the show and joining me today.
I appreciate it.
And we're just 2 average guys doing a recap show, and you'll see us back here next Sunday again for another impromptu.
Yep. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Yep. And Mike and I will be back. I hope you're enjoying our little series here. And until next time, guys, keep it casual.
Yep.